And welcome everyone to week one of Swiss here in the 2022 Legend of Zelda Randomizer tournament. We do apologize for the late start, but we are ready for some rando action. My name is James. I go by JSR, and with me tonight on the microphone is the Greenleaf Effect. TG, how you doing, my friend?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. It is good to be back in the booth. It's good to have you back in the booth. It's good to have some Zelda. And I mean, how are you doing as well?
Oh, I am doing fantastic and excited for a great matchup between CrimsonAvix and Shatty, two experienced randomizer players, two experienced runners, and one of them might get the banana. I don't know. This rumor is something I haven't had confirmed yet. I'm looking for confirmation from TGE, but if the banana is going to be grabbed tonight, is that going to be the difference?
I mean, I'm always on anyone for anyone who wants to grab the wood boomerang, but what I actually heard is I was talking to Crim earlier, and I'm like, hey, just so you're aware, JSR and I are doing commentary for your match tonight. And the first response is, hey, Google, how can I troll both JSR and TG at the same time?
Oh, dear. Well, here we go. A desert start right off the bat, and we do have Shatty going down south towards the power bracelet spot with CrimsonAvix hot in pursuit.
Oh, that's not fun. We have the single word door repair charge. They're just the exclamation point. We're probably not going to get out of those very often.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is a little bit of a bummer, but having that early, at least they have no rupees to lose. It's usually when you get about 6 of those, about an hour in, when you realize that arrows are required and you have like less than 50 rupees, and then all of a sudden, here, have a couple door repair charges.
Yeah. Can we not talk about needing money to buy things that are required? Keys.
Oh, we found some paper here over by the vanilla power bracelet spot. Shatty going west, and then Crimson, takes a death in the woods.
Yeah, that spot's a hard thing to do. You saw him trying to set up the HUD clip there, but he had some hardware issues, so he's on emulator right now, so probably not used to the setup for the HUD clip, and as you can see, by being, in that sort of line of fire, the Octorox just said no.
As we wait for the restream to sync up, Shatty does find the any roads, and the second one over by start. So far, so good. You really want these to be spread out as far as you can. Oh, this is looking like a really nice layout.
I mean, they're not bad. They just don't do anything too much over on the Death Mountain side of things, and we have an Armos Uprising over on Crim side. They just all decided they wanted Onion Link.
First look at a secret, and 20 rupees. Is that the max small?
That is the maximum small secret, yes.
That's going to be nice for both runners. I mean, even if it ends up being low on the other two, getting that extra 10 rupees on those small secrets, which are the most abundant in the overworld, is really going to help out.
Yeah, so Crim looks like to be having a little bit of emulator trouble here, so we're going to be... he's taking a minute to sort that out, as Shatty has found the same screen that Crim died on.
We do have our first level. He finds level 4 under the Armos. Now, of course, we are playing with first quest flags in the overworld, and although this is Shapes in the Dungeons chat, just to note that whenever first quest overworld is in play, that does mean that all the levels will have first quest items. Now, of course, this is randomizer, so the items are shuffled. You might be wondering, what does that even mean? Basically, in vanilla first quest level 4, there's only one item. Although in second quest, there's 2. So, because of that, Shatty knows there's only going to be one item in that level 4, and it could be any item.
It very well could be. Now, the interesting thing here is, Shatty didn't do too much exploring here. I personally tend to like to explore a little bit swordless. I'm not sure about your thoughts on that, but before that, we do have a power bracelet. Right item under the Armos, just wrong location.
Is this even kind of sort of randomized? No, I'm just kidding. I don't mind swordless too much, although it depends on the seed and it depends on what I'm seeing as far as the enemy set is concerned. Like, the dungeon that Crim is going into swordless was looking nice until he ran into that blue Wizrobe flying around down there. But, especially if I have bombs or a wand or any sort of protection, if I find an early level, I'll dig it, but most runners, I think, myself included, we're probably going to prioritize looking around until we find some sort of weapon.
No, I can definitely get around, understand that. And the reason the power bracelet that Shatty found is interesting is because one of the flags on for this tournament is forced overworld blocks, which means that any of the 9 dungeons or the white sword item is going to be blocked by one of the 3, in this case because it's first quest overworld, one of the 3 items: power bracelet, recorder, or raft. And level 5 is very much combat and or ladder block, so nothing doing in there right now.
And you see CrimsonAvix attempting the screen scroll over to vanilla level 5 location. Meanwhile, Shatty now going towards the northeast coast. And this is good. Oh, it was going to be that. Crim having a little bit of trouble with the scroll. It's a pretty tough trick. So it looks like he might be going the same way as Shatty. So we're going to get to see all of this northeast, and we find another one of those dreaded door repair charges. Didn't seem like it was that much money. I didn't catch how much it was, though.
No, I didn't either, although I'm sure chat will absolutely correct it for us.
Then a shop full of useless trinkets. I mean, not really. That was an okay price for a key, I guess, but nothing there Shatty's even interested in at the moment. He's going to leave, and Crim, ooh, taking another death in a kind of a bad spot. Luckily, he's not too far. He should be able to get back up there soon.
Yeah, the lever just coming up from out underneath. It's just, one of those unfortunate things. But Crim does have the candle now, which means if I'm Crim, I'm going to work my way back up to the northeast. But first, I'm going to go down and burn all the woods on my way up.
Of course, as you know, chat, this Swiss round in this tournament is going to have at least one. It can be more, but at least one location that's going to be blocked by an overworld item. Like what I mean is like the recorder, the power bracelet, the raft. Those are going to block one location. It might not be a level. It could be, correct me if I'm wrong, it could be the white sword item as well, right?
100% correct.
And then, of course, that also goes to the wooden sword, which may or may not be in an open cave. Most modes of Randomizer, the sword is in an open cave, but not in this tournament. It could be under a bush or behind a bomb walls. Shatty finds Vanilla 6. I believe that was in the Armos on the east side.
I think so. One quick addendum to the wood sword block. It can't be behind the bomb because the game never assumes combat. And if it's going to be blocked, it's going to be blocked based on what the Armos item is. So in this case, for this particular seed, the wooden sword could be hidden behind any one of the power bracelet spots.
Of course, both runners are very experienced. They don't necessarily need the stabby stick to be able to make progress. But it would be nice, especially as we haven't seen a lot in the overworld that I would consider to be tough enemies. We already have confirmation that Wizrobes are in the dungeons, so I don't know if it's safe to assume we're also going to see Lionels and Darknuts in there, but if we are, TG, we're in for a long night, man.
We are going to see some Lionels because I believe I saw some in level 6 right before Shatty up and 8 out of there. So yeah, we have all of the beams in the dungeons. And hey, there's the banana. Sunbathing out in paradise.
Oh, hell!
They're never going back for that, are they?
They might, you never know. Like, they may have to world wrap around. I mean, the starting location doesn't really afford that, but yeah, you never count out the potassium power.
Let's be honest here. If CrimsonAvix decides he's going to world wrap across, he's going to do everything in his power to avoid the banana.
Oh. Yeah, we don't have much information on the dungeons yet other than a couple locations. A lot of overworld being checked, but they're kind of running the same route for the most part. This is a relatively linear overworld, I think, because of where you're starting.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting start. It's roughly the same spot where I started in my seat, so I actually fully understand the pain of starting in the middle of the world where there's like, okay, I gotta walk 3 screens in either direction to get to anything.
Crim does take another death, but I'm pretty sure he got his jewelry before, so at least he's got his power bracelet, so progress for Crim. And then I believe Shatty up A's, so still looking for that wooden sword or any kind of weapon, a bomb shop, anything.
Yeah, no, we got a potion shop there. I mean, that's a shop of some sort, but with zeros all across the board. bombs, keys, and rupees. Doesn't matter what shop we run into.
I mean, this is the kind of seed that if they don't find something soon, I see them maybe finding like a level 2 or 3 and doing a swordless dive. And when you're running this kind of seed in a race, you obviously don't know where your opponent is. You don't hear our voices. You're in your own vacuum. It's really easy to metagame yourself into a panic. And you'll look over and see the timer and see, oh man, this is 10 minutes into this race already and I don't even have a weapon yet. And neither of them know it. Oh, and Shatty gets a bomb drop. Nice for him. Hopefully everything's okay on Crim's side.
Yeah, we're working on getting that back as best we can. But yeah, the bomb drop over on Shatty's side is nice.
Shatty, of course, is a very experienced vanilla runner. He might try to force, but I don't know. Without a weapon, and this overworld isn't exactly friendly either. He might just be trying to survive right now. Oh!
Yeah, I mean, the worst part is with that candy, like, hey, cool, I can probably kill some things to get some bombs. The red Gorilla is at least 4 HP, and you're only going to get 3 hits out of a blue candle, so those aren't really a good place to try and get your bombs.
See, honestly, if they get an early ladder, I could almost see them going back for that boomerang. I'm not even kidding. Like, that could come in huge handy if they find a ladder and like say they find level 8 and dive it and there's an early staircase.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong there. I mean, especially if you don't have a repeatable source of damage, having the boomerang to allow you to stun things to get through an overworld screen, you're not going to have as much luck in the dungeons because Wizrobes and Dark Nuts are both immune to the boomerang, but to be able to have something repeatable to at least help you through.
Gotta say, though, I like that bait price, and that key was pretty good priced as well as Shatty finds level 9. So over by Vanilla 9, we have very cheap bait and pretty affordable keys on top of that.
Oh, I think I know what just happened on Crim's side of the board. I pulled his stream up to see what was happening, and it looks like he went back to see if his hardware would work, because I have a stream up there, but nothing else there. It looks like, yeah. So he was just getting something up. Oh, no, it was just the emulator check, but we are back, it looks like, on Crim's side of Hyrule here. But we found a wood sword as I was doing that.
And in the vanilla location as well. So we're getting a lot of vanilla shenanigans here. Alright, so yeah, I think you're right. I think Crim is going to jump on console here, which is why he's delayed. And that delay does give Shatty a huge advantage, but in that time that they've been playing, the advantage is more in what Shatty was able to see in the overworld as far as like any sort of actual progression. So if Crim can retrace his steps, get that power bracelet and that candle quickly, he's not as far behind as you might think.
No. I mean, but he's got he has the same save file, so he's got the candle, he's got the bracelet, as you can see. I think that's why he went. I think that's why he went and saved his information so he could have all that.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this in our green room discussion before the race, but when you're used to playing on hardware, and then you have to switch over to anything that has any sort of input lag, and you're not used to that, it's nearly unplayable. And if Crim's been on hardware lately, he might not be used to that, and that could be very uncomfortable for him, especially in a tournament race where you're not trying to think about that kind of stuff. By the way, Shatty finds level 1. Where was that at, TG?
I don't know. I was checking Crim getting all things taken care of on his side as he takes another death. But I did see Shatty, I believe in order to get in here, he had to Kanana key, and also has to kill a 4-headed Gleeok to get out of this room.
Dancing and diving, bobbing and ducking. Oh, he was doing really good. And
no, from the grave!
The double KO. He's going to have to fight Gleeok again. But that was very impressive combat, at least through the first 3 heads. Very nice showing of skill by Shatty, despite the result.
Oh, that's some thick Wizrobes, too.
Wow, are they 8 HP?
I think it would have to be 6, only plus or minus 2, but yeah, there's some thick ones.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, man. That's not boding well. I don't think we've seen what the blue Wizroads look like yet. I hope it's just the red ones that are thick. Oh, man. Or I hope this Manhandla is squishy.
Yeah, not that you'd have any horror stories about thick Manhandlas from this tournament.
I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
Also, we did find the book here in level 1, and as you can see, the book is the Atlas, so we're going to have all of the maps. So chat, it's been a thing every time we've had a Shapes tournament, so go ahead. What does that map look like? Considering it looks like the reverse of a map I had earlier today, I'm going to go with Donut.
It's an unknown from Pokemon.
Oh, you're totally right, it is. It totally is.
Or it could be like a lollipop. Kind of looks like a lollipop.
Oh! Shatty trying to avoid the Wizrobe gets hit by the Wall Master! Oh, wow!
He gave it a good effort, but you gotta hand it to that Wall Master.
Oh, yeah, the Wall Master was out for some blood.
I was waiting to see if anyone would come.
I just no-sold it. Yep. Also, chat, don't think I didn't see you calling level 1 a Patra Orb there. I saw that.
Interesting. So I wonder if Shatty's going to try the Kananaki here. It's going to be tough with only a half heart. If he can survive it, I wonder if that's what he's going for, if he thinks it's a push block room. It could be.
I mean, this is level 1, so it's either a staircase or there's a room drop in here. But either way, it doesn't matter because Gleeok wins Fatality.
Oh, flawless victory, too.
Oh, now I just want to go back to the Genesis and play Mortal Kombat.
Just don't play Mythologies, trust me.
I watched that. That was that was a very entertaining couple of hours.
All right, Shatty in for round 3 against his Gleeok. I think he's going to get it this time. Come on, chat. Let's cheer him to the finish line. I think he's got this.
Yeah, the problem is it only gets harder as you kill the heads and there's more things flying around the screen.
He gets a compass for his trouble, no push block, doesn't go for the Kananaki, but finally takes down the Gleeok just to find a Mugger room. Congratulations.
Oh, that's disgusting. I mean, the good thing is it's not 5 keys. Crim's still down here by start with only half a heart, so we're going to have to be very careful. Also very close to the wood sword, but no longer at the half a heart as we found another take any.
Yeah, this is actually really good for Crim. He's going to get his wooden sword and probably find level 1 soon after. So he shouldn't be too terribly behind Shatty. And since the items in 1 aren't necessarily groundbreaking items so far, it could be really good for Crimson, especially if he just gets into 1 and out. But, I mean, it's level 1, you know that he's going to dig it.
Or the P-Hats can play defense. Wow!
No! He was so close! That is a horrible spot to take a death. No!
Oh, wow. I've never seen a P-Hat that aggressive.
Oh, man, what a tough break for Crim. He was about to get his sword, and it's funny because this actually happened to me in my race, too, where I died to an Armos, and I was in that area making that way anyways, so I went right back. I think that's going to work out for Crim in this situation. He knows he hasn't checked this area yet, and he's beelining right back to where he was.
Yeah, over on Shatty's side, Gleeok is not having any of it right now. That four-headed Gleeok gets another win here.
I mean, Gleeok can be very, very stressful to fight with a wooden sword and 5 hearts. That's actually a big deterrent to folks that want to run 3 first, is that when in vanilla, you have to fight the level 4 Gleeok, basically with 4 hearts and a wooden sword. And even at full health, that can be a very tough fight for anybody. So, especially in a randomizer seed, this is like really stressful to just walk in and, oh, hi, here's a 4-headed Gleeok. Have fun.
Yeah, nothing is fun about a 4-headed Gleeok on 3 hearts wood sword. Yeah, if you play enough randomizer, one of those times you'll have to deal with it. And Shatty choosing correctly, this is going to be the staircase item here in level 1. As Crim trying to set up for a Kananaki, unfortunately no. And there's the red candle.
Good find, especially early. Good news for Crim that there was nothing in level 1 that gave Shatty the ability to just go as fast as he could. So if Crim can avoid some of the deaths in this dungeon, he can definitely even the field here.
No, but taking that reward of a red candle, because after killing any room with blue Wizrobe, you've earned whatever item is there, except if it's the blue boomerang. We don't talk about that.
Wait, there's only one boomerang in this game.
Yes, the one that's sitting out on the coast. Yeah, we don't talk about blue now.
If Liquid Husband's watching, he's going to be upset. Krim was going for the Kananiki, and I think that last rope kind of knocked him off his mark a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, there are some enemies that are a lot easier to Kananiki than others. Ropes are actually one of the hardest because of how aggressively they go after you.
Meanwhile, Shatty does get his first Dorito out of level 1, and he is out. Finds the magic sword nearby, so Shatty with the early lead here. Still anyone's race, though, as we haven't found any real progression other than that Triforce.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I've noticed with these seeds is it's one of those things where it's like, you're like, oh, I have all these aren't too bad, and then you run into whatever the block is, and it's just, oh, awful.
White sword item is a heart container, and it is a 6-heart heart container. I can imagine that unless Shatty finds a heart container soon, he probably won't be going back for that. So another unfortunate roll here. This is turning out to be quite the seed.
So far, yeah, Crim did manage to pull off the Kananiki, and actually quite smoothly. Got knocked off initially and had to walk back in after killing the rope. So well, it took us 3 tries, but third time is a charm. It was a beautiful Kananiki.
Good point in chat, by the way, because that magical sword isn't far away. That is a good point. We may see Shatty, if he decides to make a mags play, return to that heart container later, especially with how this seed is looking as far as like what's in the dungeons and how difficult this combat might end up being.
Yeah, so far that seems to be the biggest thing with Lionel's Dark Nuts and Wizrobes, the unholy triad here in the dungeons. Yeah, combat is going to be a thing in this seed. As Crim goes to get the key and gives his mummy a hug, and we're going to go back to the start.
Shatty finds another small secret over in the Deadwoods and has already almost cleared this entire thing out. Nothing really for his efforts other than that secret, though.
And that one. So $75, a little better than 20.
Yeah, a little small for a large secret, but with it being a big small secret, if the mid is relatively close to normal, this won't be too bad.
I think I saw the mid secret was only 27 rupees.
Alright, well hopefully money isn't a big deal. Luckily the bait and the keys are not expensive, and they already have candles. So if the arrows end up being relatively cheap, I mean the big question is going to be the blue ring, as Crim takes another death here in 1.
Yeah, that was the Wizrobe just deciding he wanted to spawn right on top. Because, unlike most things in this game, Wizrobes, they have logic, they just don't listen to it.
Well, it's kind of a bummer, too, because we know that level 1 doesn't really have much of interest, and this is a very combat-heavy level 1. But in Crim's mind, I'm assuming he's thinking, man, this is level 1, there's another item in here that I haven't found yet, and it could be anything. And if it's a red ring, white sword, ladder, bow, anything, it could be a big turning point. And unfortunately, he's just not going to get the benefits of this dig when he finally finds that item.
Yeah, no. I mean, you're only looking at 14 rooms here in this level 1, so you're absolutely going to try and dig it. But there is something to be said about, hey, there's a bunch of thick Wizrobes in here. I'm going to come back later when I'm much more equipped.
Doing nice with the sidestepping here, avoiding those Wizrobe beams. If you've never seen that before, chat, the hitboxes in this game are slightly off-center. So whenever there's a vertical attack coming, if Link is standing on the right side half tile to the enemy, like you just saw there with Crim, and he gets that clock, which is going to bail him out of these last 2 fights, you can avoid all the projectiles entirely. Gets the book, and he picks it up. I'm going to have the maps alongside with Shatty.
Yeah, I mean, this early when you don't have the wand, you're absolutely picking up the book there. No doubt about it.
So now he just has to find his Triforce. He's not terribly far from it, so he could get it soon. Meanwhile, Shatty back up in the northeast, where I don't think we saw a level. Is he making a play for that arrow? He is.
Yeah, arrows in this seed is always a good thing to have. I know there's a lot of people who are like, I'm not going to buy arrows till I have the bow, but there comes a time where you find the bow and it's in a dungeon and oh hey look, I need this Goma that's buried deep in this level 8 and oops, I don't have arrows. And then like you mentioned with the door repair, you need to buy them.
If you've got the money and you find the arrow shop and there's nothing else you're saving up for, I'm buying them every time, man. I've had too many seeds where I've had wooden sword, 8 pulse voice in every room. I'm good. If I can afford the arrows, I'm buying them every single time.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a level 5 there. We do have a little happy little segment up there in the upper right-hand corner, but ooh. Okay, I lied about happy level 5. That's Darknuts. No, just no.
So, Crim, that is a man slipping and face planting on a banana peel.
I'm in. I'm 100% in.
Again, Shatty showing his skills against this Gleeok, really dancing and using those triangle strats very well, and makes quick work of her. Gets to 5 root before his trouble, and we have a ladder block at that top part of 5, so if that's the item or the Triforce, oof.
Yeah, can we not talk about like the ladder blocks or key blocks or ladders buried in 8 or Patras or... No, I'm not traumatized at all, chat.
I don't know what you're talking about. From this seat, I want to see all the blocks. I want to see all that stuff.
I mean, yes, from this seat, I agree with you. I do too.
I think Crim is in one room above, or is this the... No, this wasn't the Triforce room. I know it was over here somewhere.
No, that was the Compass room. The Triforce is one below.
Oh, and he's gonna opt out of this room.
Shatty looking at this room of blue darkness like, do I really want to? And the answer is no. No, I do not.
I'm weird. I actually really like fighting blue darknuts, but I totally understand why people don't. I think it's kind of fun, but it's also super stressful. And especially in a race, you don't want to find that.
No, see, blue darknuts are interesting because in open room, I don't want to fight them at all. But if there's rooms with blocks where I can clip, or the weird grid block room, I love that because you can hide behind the blocks, and they're so much easier to fight.
Oh, Shatty dealing with the blue whiz robe. Is he going to be able to get away?
No!
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't even have a key to bail out up at the top there. He was kind of a sitting duck, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a rough room for the item to be in, too. Almost with the beautiful bomb. Crim with getting the bonus bomb from Manhandla. Gotta love it.
Crim is diving for that second item, so I'm guessing he didn't find the red candle yet. I think it was down here, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's gonna have to spend the key to get to the red candle if he wants to do it.
Meanwhile, Shatty expertly using in and out strats on this room to respawn enemies to get a better spawn set, and gets a white sword for his troubles, and that is a huge upgrade this early on in this kind of seed.
Yeah, that's a big, big game changer. Especially when you have a bunch of Wizrobes, Darknuts, and Lionels in the dungeons. Doubling your damage output's huge.
That's the kind of early on benefit that might mean the Mags isn't even something on his radar. And now he can go into the rest of this 4. He's basically just looking for that Tringle and not even going to deal with Gleeok there. Uses an up and A to basically get the key and bounce. So smart play by Shatty.
I mean, when you're 2 rooms in, you're gonna come in at 3 hearts either way. Might as well just grab the key and not have to fight more than you need to. I mean,
it's more Wizrobes.
I mean, we heard you. We heard the chat and the viewers. We heard you liked Wizrobes, so we made them extra spicy in this tournament. Crim opting to pick the Triforce out of level 1. I think he's had enough of one. He's going to come back later when he's slightly better equipped. Shatty in that T room in level 4. That's a rough spot to be with no way of clipping. So we're going to have to see if Wall Masters are the primary enemy here or not.
Yeah, unfortunately, if he doesn't have another way to do it, I don't think he has a weapon in his inventory that'll allow him to kill them if they keep spawning in that center. So hopefully he's able to play the spawn game a little bit. or hopefully get around that room somehow by killing this Gleeok. And again, another clean kill from Shatty.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing to find the compass. And oh!
Wow. Is this randomized? Because that seems like a Plando kind of level layout, man.
I mean, we'll know if it's a Plando only if there's 4 rooms of 8 blue wizards between us and the Triforce. Oh! Oh, wow!
No keys. He's going to have to kinetic here. He's not going to be able to get over there because that other room is a ladder block. He's going to have to clear that other room and then hope he can get in there. He's going to have to go for this kinetic key. Let's see if he can get it.
Amazing.
And of course, the Gibdo is just not playing nice at all.
I mean, it is coming back. Oh no, the fake out! Gibdo with the fake out!
I think he's got 2 more hits to kill him. Or he uses a bomb. Well done by Shatty. Crimson taking an overworld death there, unfortunate.
Yeah, but using the bomb there to kill the Gibdo to guarantee you ended up getting the Kananaki there. Very, very nice play from Shatty. We've seen a couple of good Oh no!
Wow! Oh, but there's a key in the shoot room, and Shatty remembered. Dude, what a play by Shatty not to bail there, because it would have been easy to see that. And I've done that before. I'm sure you probably have too, where you up and as you're up aiming, you're like, wait!
No! Yeah. Oh, there's another one!
Wow! You were saying about Plandos?
Yeah, given what I had to deal with on my seat on Monday, this is very cathartic for me to have somebody else have to deal with key troubles.
We are key blocked in 4, and Shatty is going to dig for a key. So there are a few rooms he hasn't been in yet. If he can find a key, he can get out of here. Maybe there's one in this shutter door. Let's see if he can get lucky and get out of this 4.
Yeah, also, we have found our guaranteed block item, and that is level 9 under the power bracelet spot by start.
I think the only room left in 4 that he hasn't been in is the rooms past that blue wizrobe, and I don't think he's going to do it. Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yep, that's a big pile. Nope, I'm good.
Well, especially because you don't know if there's a key up there, right? So that would have been a lot of work for a gamble when you can just come back later. So well played by Shatty. He did everything he could, and he did well at it, too.
Yeah, no, that was great until the game just said no.
First look at the coast, and we find a bomb shop. 26 rupee bombs, a little bit pricey compared to vanilla, but not unaffordable. So a little inflation in Hyrule, but we're okay.
I mean, there's inflation everywhere, though. Also, that's the top part of a turret gun, level 3.
I didn't see where that was. Where was that, TG?
Either Vanilla 5 or the Waterfall, or it's up in that area. White Sword Cave, I think. But, you know, that map, it looks like the spot where you'd sit in if you were in the gunning part of a turret.
A little bit. I was going to say Star Destroyer from Star Wars.
I mean, okay, yeah, I can see that. I was, I wasn't going that nerd, but if we're gonna go that nerd, let's just.
I like the turret better, actually. I think that might fit better. Shatty going around that ladder block, finds some snakes, does not go for the kinetic key, but it wouldn't have mattered anyways. It was a push block.
Level 6, who hurt you?
Oh no, he found the state of New York.
A sad and depressed anteater?
And I think Shatty is ladder blocked in 3. No keys. He can't go up the only path. So he's either gonna have to go buy a key. Wait, maybe I missed something. Maybe he thinks he can Kanana key that? Nope. Meanwhile, Crim in level 6 was 6 on the coast, I believe.
Either the coast or the coast cave. And Blue Lionel also saying no. This seed is just full of absolute nope. I'm pretty sure both of them are cursing my name right now.
I didn't roll it. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus. I'm just going to say it wasn't me. I swear.
No, I will fully take credit for this because we like to keep people out of the blame category if we can. So as an admin here, I'll take the shot. I'll take the fall on the sword for you.
So Shatty does not return to buy keys. Instead, he heads up towards Vanilla 9, where he finds his third heart container cave. Remember, they skipped out on the first one to get the candle. So one heart container remaining in the overworld, not counting the white sword heart container, which he can now get. So theoretically, he could end up with 10 heart containers and have a shot at that magic sword.
I mean, nothing wrong with that. Between 10 and 14 hearts, magic sword. I mean, the way this seed's going, you'd absolutely want it because those blue Lionels, not taking any prisoners. The Wizrobes, not taking any prisoners. Like, this seed just has it out for people.
Yeah, and Shatty probably doesn't know this yet, but that white sword is really making a difference early on in the seed. Between that and Crimson's technical difficulties, this lead is growing very wide. Mostly because of exploration, not so much in Triforces, but I would imagine that unless Crim makes a really good dive soon, this might end up being insurmountable. He's going to have to find something, as Shatty finds level 2 up near Vanilla 9.
Level 2 is a great dungeon to find because it's usually smaller. It's a floor drop item you're looking for, so there's a chance just you can walk into a room and, hey, look, there's the recorder.
A very valuable key. We haven't seen many of them, as he finds one in the first room here in 2. Now, level 2's item, of course, will be on the floor. Most of the veterans know this. So you'll be seeing him clear more rooms out than you might see in a typical dungeon. And he's going to have to slay another Gleeok here.
I mean, every extra bosses is on, so we're going to be seeing a lot more bosses. And every seed tends to have the one boss you see a bunch of. Usually when it's like Dodongos or Aquamentus, nobody cares. When it's Gleeok or Patra or Manhandla, everybody cares.
Yeah, or that one seed where the bow is buried somewhere in 7 and every dungeon has a Goma.
Yeah, that's true. Those are the worst.
But yeah, that will afford him the luxury of not having to clear certain rooms. That vertical block room. Correct me if I'm wrong, TG, but in this particular flag set, that can't be a drop room, correct?
It's not going to be a drop room because there's the silvers on the floor in 2.
And he just bought arrows. What a shame. Although, again, I'd make that play every time. But now Shatty has the only other item besides the bow that is 100% required in this game. Well, I guess the sword. So, good find for Shatty there.
Yeah, nice, easy, basically, all intents and purposes, a nice, easy level 2. But those silver arrows don't do anything until we have the bow, so yeah, they're great to have. You know you don't have to dig 9 for them, but there's still a bunch left we gotta find. Ladder probably gonna come into play. Very rarely we're gonna have a seed that doesn't. Cough, cough, if you haven't seen the importance of ladder, check out some of the races yesterday, and you will.
I don't know what you're talking about. Which races should the folks check out after the racing action ends here tonight?
All of them.
I won't gonna lie, I was on my computer watching Z1R for like 8 hours last night. It was amazing.
It was so good. It really was. Like, I will fully admit, I got done my race on Monday, had a bunch of people message me like, oh my god, that was garbage, and then the first thing I did is turned on more Z1R races.
Crim is back up and running as Shatty now over at the Forgotten Spots. So we're going to get to see some Death Mountain digging here pretty soon. Again, out of keys, and it does seem to be a theme here early on in this, and that's not what you want. That's one of the worst combinations you can have, is a combat-intensive seed with no keys, because guess what you're going to be doing a lot of to find keys?
Killing things.
It's not going to be fun, although that white sword again, a huge advantage as, oh my goodness. Is that Minnesota?
I was going to say, remember that turret that we found from level 3? Here's the rest of it.
So far we've had, I guess level 3 was either Tennessee or something, and then we had New York, and now we've got Minnesota, man. We got a state map shuffle going on here.
Yeah, so welcome to Z1R Presents GeoGuessr.
Ooh, vanilla bomb upgrade, but for a cheaper discount. Not a bad find for Shatty.
No, not at all. However, what is a bad find is that room full of dark nuts. And more dark nuts!
And it looks like he might try to clear this one. The item in 7 is going to be a push block room, so he either thinks this might be a key drop or perhaps the Triforce.
I also don't hate the use of the bombs here because he knows there's a standing bomb drop in the room right next door.
Yeah, very, very heads-up play by Shatty. And makes quick work of the Dark Nuts, gets no reward for his efforts, unfortunately.
Just the pleasure of having killed Dark Nuts.
I mean, it is a pleasure. I think it's a great time.
Tell that to the Blue Lagoons in 8.
That's actually my favorite way to practice killing Dark Nuts. If anyone ever wants a tip for me on how to get better at combat, just go into the level 5 or level 8 Dark Nut rooms and just fight them and survive with the wooden sword. And at first it will be very, very difficult. But eventually you might be able to... Ooh, shiny!
Shiny indeed. We've got ourselves the breadstick. I mean the recorder. I'm not hungry at all.
Good find for Shatty there, as that's one of the 3 items that could be blocking an overworld block. Remember, in this flag set, one of those levels, or we know the white sword item is not blocked. So I'm guessing we're going to have at least one level blocked. And if it's in that vanilla 7 spot, this could be a huge break for Shatty.
Yeah, the other big thing is we haven't seen any yet, but we could also have the recorder be required to kill Dig Dockers, which, again, we haven't seen any of yet. Crim coming to the realization that this man slipping on banana peel level 5 is, well, not going to allow him to do much because it's blocked every which way to Sunday.
Yeah, this is unfortunate he came to 5 first because we know that there's a dearth of keys, and I don't think Shatty found the item, so I think it's safe to assume the item is either in the ladder blocked rooms or maybe that small segment up in the corner as he takes a death. Oh no, it can't be the segment, but...
No, it'd be awesome if it was. The Triforce could be up there, but...
Yeah. Well, the Triforce is in the bottom room under the S, right?
Or isn't that 4?
I'm already confused. God bless America.
Yeah, I know 4 was the one on the bottom with the keys and the more keys and even more... Or was that 3? I don't remember. All of these flat levels are blending together.
Of course, folks, as you're watching these 2 runners duking it out and showing their skills off for y'all, make sure you give both of these runners a follow. I can promise they are great folks to have on your live streamers list. Crim and Shatty, both veterans of not only the Randomizer, but many other speedruns, and are great, great people. Definitely follow both of them.
Absolutely. And to prove the point, we'll hit the follow the runners command in chat. Crim trying to set up for the block cut to kill the blue Darknuts. Unfortunately, the Darknut said, no, you will not pass, and goes full Gandalf Balrog. Is that too deep of a cut?
That room!
No!
What a mean room! What a mean room! And Shatty, of course, gets there with a half heart, so he has to fight that. Man, that was mean.
Yeah, like, Aquamentus is usually a very tame boss to see, but when it's in a moat room like that, it's just awful.
Now, there goes his only key. Hopefully it leads to the right way here in 7, and any key would be a great find right now, as that is a potential push block room, but he doesn't want to deal with blue Darknuts, and who can blame him? In fact, he might just bail here.
I mean, he's gonna bail because we already found the recorder here in 7, so no need to stick around. You're not digging that 7 for a heart container.
I would. No, I'm just kidding.
So over on the left, you see Crim has done one of my favorite ways to kill Darknuts is just popping into a block and stabbing them.
So I think that we found all the dungeons except for level 8, right? I don't remember where 9 is, but I know we've seen 9, right?
Yeah, 9 is the power bracelet spot by start.
So now it's just level 8, and level 8 is that block dungeon, so we'll see if that recorder is the ticket, or if we've got to keep looking, as we know now that Shatty's not looking for a level. So that makes me wonder then, because we didn't find the items in 5, or what other items did we not find? 6?
6 and 5 and 3, but more importantly, this level 8's a little sus.
Wait a second. Did he just bomb into that 8?
Yeah, no, yeah. Level 9's the blocked one. It was the
Oh,
yeah.
I was mistaken. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. My mistake.
No, not a problem. But yeah, that level 8 definitely is a little sus. And level 5 is just absolutely taking it to Crim here. And finally decides that I'm done dealing with these dark nuts right now. I'm going to go try my luck somewhere else. Maybe at level 4 down to the south.
Yeah, I imagine we're going to see Shatty dig this 8, probably looking for the bow or perhaps the ladder so he can go get his boomerang.
I mean, if someone got the ladder and picked up the boomerang at this point, I am firmly on whatever team they want. I will subscribe to their weekly periodical. I'm in.
Bring back into 4. If he sticks with this 4, he's going to be very, very happy because that's been the biggest difference outside of the technical difficulties so far is Shatty's white sword versus Crim's wooden sword. This would be a huge break for Crim if he can find it. And I believe that's the room, but he takes a death.
Yeah, Crim knows this is the room the item is in here in this 4 because there's no staircase in vanilla First Quest 4. So without having a segment that he can see in the map, he knows that's the item he's looking at.
Gonna make one more play. Only one bomb. He might use the same strats we saw Shatty use. Oh, that Wizrobe's being mean. That's just not right. That's not right.
No, that Wizrobe was having none of it. If he could have got past the Wizrobe, we had a chance there.
While Shatty did pick up a compass, and he finds a ladder block shutter door. He's going to have to go back through 8 again. I don't know. What do you think is going to be in here? I'm guessing ladder and any key. I think it's going to be a loaded 8.
I'm thinking it's going to be the exact opposite. I'm thinking it's going to be the boomerang and the blue boomerang and the raft.
Ooh. If that's the case, it's rough, because then that means we've already been in the dungeon that has those items, and then it's going to become who can make the right play. And that's literally a coin flip at that point.
Yeah, Crim did go ahead. Actually got a great Wizrobe pattern to go and get the white sword there. So he's definitely going to be happy with acquiring an offensive upgrade.
Doesn't go back for that clock. I hope that doesn't bite him in the butt. Nope, he's good. All right, cool.
Yeah, no, this room that Shatty's in is not fun because you have all the bubbles. You don't have a lot of room to move around when it comes to dealing with the dark nuts. I mean, nothing about that room is fun.
Of course, that white sword is such a nice upgrade from the wooden sword. I mean, it goes without saying, but sometimes you don't really think about it as much because obviously the magic sword is the one everyone wants, but that difference is so stark. Kind of like the blue ring to the green tunic. It's kind of the same thing. Most runners don't get the blue ring unless it's a money heavy seed, but the difference can be really big, especially in a seed like this.
Yeah, huge. And Crim trying to use the bubble there to advantage, couldn't quite get there, and unfortunately, that room, only 3 enemies, but because of the restricted movement, a difficult room.
Yeah, and I think that Wizrobe gave him a weird pattern. Wizrobes usually will move in an L shape unless they phase, and it's kind of weird how their timing works. It's something that is way too complicated to explain here. But usually, if you get used to their movement, you can kind of predict where they're going to move, and Crim predicted what I believe was the right move. Just the Wizrobe might have had a weird timer going right there and moved down and bopped him and took almost all his health off. He gets through this time, though.
Yeah, Crim going to play with some respawning shenanigans here to try and make his way to the left so he can conserve his only bomb.
Meanwhile, Shatty's having a fun time in this 8, man. This combat is rough in this seed.
You know, I think the runners will have a different definition of fun than you're talking about, but I agree with you. Fun!
Hey, for us, it's a blast.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the more Z1R we can get, the better.
And luckily, at least these blue dark nuts are pretty squishy. Only 2 white sword hits. Or, I'm sorry, never mind. You must already did bomb damage on that one. Still, 4 hits isn't bad.
Crim uses the bomb and now gets the good spawn on the rope, but gets a 4-pack of bombs as a reward for clearing the tea room. So he's going to be able to make his way down to this other section of level 4. And we've got a rupee boss.
What scares me is I don't think there were enough keys, no matter how you play this, to get through this. I think Crim's going to find that same key block and be in the same situation that Shatty was in, even if he gets this Kanata key here.
I mean, still a beautiful Kanata, especially to get one on the candle fire there, but unfortunately doesn't get the heart. The Wizrobe said no.
I don't think he saved the Kanata. I don't think he went back in that room, so that room's going to be locked again.
Yeah, but the good thing about knowing that it's just, quote-unquote, just the heart container, you're probably going to go back and get it anyway. But that is just 3 ropes, so it's a much easier room to Kanata than a lot of the other ones have been.
Meanwhile, Shatty does visit a key shop, and there's our first key buy, and it's becoming a theme in this first Swiss week. A lot of seeds where folks are buying keys.
Yeah. Shatty, unfortunately, not able to pick up the magical sword there, because that was me not being able to figure out the words I was trying to say.
The extra shiny pokey stick.
Extra shiny pokey stick. Oh, God! No!
That is so mean!
It was!
There was nothing he could have done except for bail and survive. That was like... This has been a really brutal seed.
Yeah, I don't think anything about this seed. I mean, it's been fun for us, but if I'm running this seed, I'm like, what happened?
So just to update chat, because there is no timer on stream, we see the timer in the race room. We're at the 52-minute mark, roughly, and neither runner is really close to go mode. I mean, Shatty's halfway on the Triforces, but strap in, y'all. We might be seeing an 1.5 to 2 hour seed here from the winner. This is brutal.
Yeah, there is nothing, like I said, this is one of those seeds where, like, you know, the seed, we've all been talking about this infamous seed that I played on Monday. It was a seed where it was a key-starved seed, but it was a much different key-starved seed than this one. This one is a key-starved seed that is extremely combat-heavy. So this is one of those seeds where you're playing, you're like, I just want this to be over. I don't want to talk about this. I just want this to be over. I want to throw this seed in the dumpster, light it on fire, and never see it again. The seed that I played, what happened to... Oh, we lagged out the screen a little bit. I'm like, I missed what happened. My seed was key-starved, but the combat wasn't nearly as bad, so it was, you know, pretty easy.
Unfortunately, with that lag out, hopefully we get to see what was in that staircase. I don't know what Shatty's going to find there, but it's probably going to be something pretty decent at this point, one would think.
Yeah, so we can hear Overworld. We can hear it going on. We know stabbing is happening, but we're not entirely sure what's being stabbed.
So do you think we're going to get post-race interviews from our runners after this one?
I can guarantee you we will not be getting a post-race interview from Crim. Mostly due to the fact that I've already been told this seed can go die in a fire.
Oh, and he misses the Kanata key this time! Oh, no! And unfortunately, those enemies aren't going to respawn for a few rooms, so I'm not sure if Crim is trying to get those enemies to respawn or if he's hoping for a key drop here. He knows there's a key behind that Kanata key door, and takes a death to Gleeok, and hopefully, for his sake, he decides to bail, because he doesn't know that he's not going to be able to get that Triforce, but he is going back in, and you do have to admire his persistence, at least.
I mean, it's persistence is one thing, but there comes a point in time where you bounce your head off the same thing over and over again, and you're just like, eh? Is this worth it?
You have people in chat saying that Shatty has the bow. We don't have confirmation on our end yet. If that's the case, then we may be looking at... Because do we have a ladder block from a Triforce yet? I don't think we have we?
Depends. If it's in the north part of 5, yes. That would be the only thing that could potentially be a ladder block that we've seen.
Crim does take another death to a Wizrobe. He is going back in. I know he knows that there's that key in that room, and I think that's what he's trying to get to. Well, you know what? He doesn't know that the Triforce is in there. I think he thinks this is the Triforce room.
I mean, absolutely could be, but I don't blame trying to kill that room. But hey, nice easy kill there on that Gleeok. Gonna go ahead and take that care of it, and he's gonna find the the compass here, which will lead to the Tringle. Was the words I was trying to say. Yeah, I think that sound we're hearing definitely confirms that the bow was what Shatty found in level 3, because that is definitely the sign of the sound of a bow firing.
All right, I'm pulling up his stream, but it does look like perhaps OBS has crashed because I don't see him live, unfortunately. I'll keep everyone up to date as soon as I get some video.
Yeah, absolutely, and we got Crim trying to make his way back through this level 4, so chat... While we are trying to get things taken care of on the technical side of things with the music and the streaming and all that, I guess the question for you is, it's, 4 days into the tournament now, we've had a bunch of races. Jokes about me and Patras and Keys aside, but go ahead and in the first week of the tournament, has there been sort of a favorite moment you guys have had so far? Or a favorite thing? And don't spoil any races, but sort of just be generic with it.
The twists and turns in 9. Specifically, Silver's being in 9 when you don't expect it. Silver's not being in 9, but that all comes with any rando, right? The ladder blocks has been huge, and also the chains of levels. Like, obviously we know one's going to be blocked, but the other... We've seen a level with an item that led to another blocked level that had an item that led to another item that was blocked by a boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing because that's the kind of stuff that you don't expect, but it's happening in spades, and it makes it so exciting.
Yeah, Crim discovering the bad news of the double key lock in 4, and after fighting through all that, he can't be happy with that. And we're back in level 8, everybody.
And he does have the silver arrows this time, so that could make a difference with some of the I think these were dark nuts in this one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of these rooms where you don't get that luxury.
Yeah, no, and this is an awful room. Like, this is the Blue Lagoon we were talking about. This is literally Blue Lagoon 1 from level 8.
Yeah.
Or 2, one of them.
It's literally the same exact enemies in the exact same room. The only difference is there's a door on the right.
Yeah, and Crim going back into level 6 now with a better equipped with the white sword and some bombs, trying to go ahead and kill some of these blue Lionels.
We're going to see another Kananaki attempt, and beautifully done using the arrows.
Yeah, and also a 5 rupee here, so that's going to refill some ammo as well. Yeah, but you have to think Shatty is in here looking for the ladder.
Do you play for the ladder here, or do you kind of assume and go for it?
Me personally, I'm very much a riverboat gambler, so if I have I found my block dungeon. We know it's 9. I've got the bow. I've got the silver arrows. I'm just as you so eloquently put it in our chat yesterday. Dorito and dip.
Yes, the old Dorito and dip, my favorite combo.
Where you just go in, grab the Triforce, and then get on out of there.
Preferably salsa con queso. That's my kind of dip.
Ooh, I do love a good salsa con queso. Although up here, I'm not sure if you have it out where you are, but there's a company that makes dips called Hell of a Good Dip. I don't know if it's made its way out to where you are, but they have a white cheddar and bacon dip, and oh my gosh, is it so good!
You got this, man. I'm gonna go run to the store real quick and.
I mean, go ahead, because I had to run to the store earlier in the race earlier today because Oreo cream Cadbury eggs got brought up, so I said I was going to go broadcast from Walmart. So go right ahead; it fits the theme today.
Shatty's going to go ahead and take care of this Goma before he sees the staircase. It is a push block spiral, so no item drop, but he's going to get an item, I imagine, and it is the raft, a useless trinket, and he knows it.
Yep, not the set of wood sticks he was looking for. Crim discovers that level 6 is unfortunately key blocked.
So at this point, Shatty's seen almost every item. He has not seen the ladder, he has not seen the wand, he has not seen the magical boomerang, red ring, or any key. I believe that's everything, right? Maybe that has to be everything, right?
Yep, that's everything.
So, I don't know if he's gonna, well, he may not be able to dive it.
Is it gonna be behind that key block level 6 monstrosity?
Oh no! And the any key's probably a deep in 9 too.
Oh gosh, this is. So this must be how everybody felt watching me.
So to answer your question in chat, basically we've seen all 9 dungeons, and the seed flag set only allows for 1 to be blocked. So even if we hadn't, we've already seen 9. So and we've already seen the white sword item, and we know it's not required. So the raft spots, the raft locations are going to have nothing important.
Yep, so Zero need to pick that up. We found, again, letter, magical sword, raft is going to hold literally nothing of relevance.
It could have money. And you know I like money, old bean.
I absolutely do. If you've got them, put your old beans in chat. Yes, I'm asking chat to spam my co-commentator's emotes. No, I have. He won't shamelessly promote himself, so I'll shamelessly promote him for himself.
Oh dear. See, this is the kind of room where Shatty's really going to have a huge advantage. Of course, the silver arrows do magical sword damage, so they're going to take out these Lionels quickly. They're going to give him drops on these Zols. Well, I guess the white sword does too, but very, very powerful weapon at this point in this seed.
Yeah, absolutely. We have this little room here full of Zols, and hey, is this a staircase or is it the item? Oh!
Whoa! That is a huge find for Shatty.
Yeah, that's the item you want to find in this seed right now.
Yeah, that's going to give him full reign to explore, and any ladder blocks are really going to become, can I bomb around this rather than a source of panic? And we know that the ladder's not in 6 or 3, so at this point, the ladder has to be in 8, right?
It's either buried in 8 or it's below that blue dark nut mess in 5.
I keep forgetting about 5. 5 was so... Ugh. I think I just wanted to forget it.
I mean, yeah, that early 5 was just disgusting.
Meanwhile, Crim is close to level 7, which did have the recorder. I don't think the recorder did anything yet. But I think level 7's one screen north of here, so we'll see if he makes his way that way or if he goes around.
I mean, yeah, you're going around here because there's a couple open caves that we haven't necessarily seen yet over on Crim's side. Just, of course, a matter of you're at half a heart, so staying alive.
I don't like this level 6. It's intimidating.
That level 6 is something. I don't know what, but it's something.
It's looking at me funny and it's making me uncomfortable.
All right, well, once the seed's over, we'll go talk to level 6 and let it know that it was making JSR uncomfortable and it needs to stop doing that.
That left side of that level, man, with these Lionels, oh my goodness. And I bet you the Triforce is somewhere crazy in that mess.
Oh, probably. Probably absolutely is. Yeah, I guarantee if I'm either one of these runners at this point, they're looking over at the clock saying, please just finish so I can quit. Please just finish so I can quit.
Just to remind folks, we don't have any timers up. We will update you as we go on the current time in this race. The official race time timer sits at 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 15 seconds as I speak. So we are deep into this race. And I mean, I can't speak for you or anyone in chat, but when I'm in a race and I look over and I see the clock that high, I don't care what the seed is. I'm feeling the heat.
Oh, absolutely. I felt the same way. Like, especially if I'm like either one of these guys, like I'm Crims, like I got one Triforce in an hour and 5 minutes in. Yeah, there's been some technical difficulties. It's been an absolute crap show here, but I'm still on the mood of like, what happened here? Like, what went wrong in this scene? I'm like, and why hasn't my opponent finished yet? Why am I still having to play this?
Well, yeah, like, cause I mean, an hour, 5 minutes with everything that Crim had going on at the beginning of the seed, he's not out of this race yet. With everything that's happened, if he finds the ladder or maybe the red ring, which I think could still be in one of the dungeons, I don't think it's guaranteed to be a 9 yet. That could be the difference maker that could put him back in this race, because the big thing that's holding people back are keys and combat. Shatty's got the keys down, and he's doing pretty good at the combat now with his health and white sword, but this is going to be a long one.
And there is the Triforce for Shatty, probably the most cathartic Triforce pickup so far, after being stymied by 17,342 keys on the way here. I don't know if that's an official number or not, but that's the number we're going with.
That's, by the way, why I always race with the race room hidden, chat, in case anyone in chat was wondering. And that's an idea that I will always pass on to you, but it does come with caveats. For example, you may feel like the race is already over and it's not, but knowing that your opponent hasn't got done yet can be a huge source of stress, especially in this kind of scene where you're pressing hard.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, although, once I get to like the hour 30 mark, if it's been a seed, an absolute garbage seed, and I'm nowhere close to finishing, I'm looking over at the race room, I'm like, please finish, please finish, please finish!
Yeah, I usually peek at it while I'm waiting for the refill. After a Triforce, I'll just take a peek at it real quick.
Yeah, that's very true. Although this Darknet here lets us know that the bait is not required. However, level 5 being a bit of a pain.
Yeah, an annoying bait block for sure, but doesn't send him back that far. And at least now he knows the bait's not required. So that's at least a sigh of relief. Although he immediately finds another ladder block. So if the ladder's not in here in level 5, it's got to be an 8. And I'm pretty sure Shatty knows that at this point, so he's probably scratching his head at this point.
Like, do I really have to dig through that monstrosity of an 8? But we do have a room we can check here with the key. Again, keys being... Oh! I mean, there's a decent chance this is one of the transport staircases, but still, Crim getting the Triforce out of level 2 as Shatty finds a staircase.
Is that the connector to that little teeny room just hanging out in the corner?
Well, we're about to find out. I hope it is.
I don't think we've seen the Triforce location in this dungeon from either runner yet, and it is not the connector, so there's another segment staircase somewhere in this 5. Oh, good.
But it did get us above the ladder block into this northern half.
Shatty with low health decides to explore before he takes on that manhandler. Probably a wise decision, as he still is looking for any sign of the Triforce or the item.
And getting a couple of extra hearts here to take out that manhandler never hurts. Crim over here in level 3 does have one key. Well, there's the Triforce here. We're going to probably clip around it to go back to that manhandler room.
Well, this could be a push block room, right?
No, the item would have to be freestanding, I think.
Oh, you're right, you're right. Nice kill by Shatty, gets a push block.
Beautiful 50-50. It's the ladder!
Oh, man!
Oh. Wow, so the ladder was in the section of 5 we thought was ladder blocked, but it was just key and staircase blocked. Wow.
So that does a few things. For one thing, that puts Shatty in true go mode. He is ready to fly now, and this is really going to open up his lead, as he's going to be able to clean up the map and get into level 9 pretty quick. He might be able to fight this seed back and finish with a pretty good time, because this has been a rough seed. But the other thing it does, though, is that we still are missing 3 items, and because all 3 can be in 9, then any of those 3 can be in 9.
Yeah, although, I mean, if you're at Shatty at this point, you got 10 hearts, white sword. I mean, you're not happy about the spot you're at, but you are, you know, you're content going into 9 with this layout, with this setup.
Nice Pepsi price, and he's going to go ahead and purchase one. Not a bad decision as he's heading back. This is level 6, and 6 was a tough one, but now he's equipped with a lot of power-ups, so this shouldn't be too terrible.
No. Also, it took me a minute, when you said nice Pepsi price, I thought you were talking about a different number than the price he actually paid. And I'm like, wait, he doesn't have that many. Oh, okay.
To answer the question in chat, yeah, we did see the raft, but by then we already knew where all 9 dungeons were, so Shatty did not pick it up.
Of course, the fun part now is going to be, where is this Triforce in 6 located? Also, these gels giving Crim a whole lot more trouble than needed. I mean, Crim is going to end up finding his bow right here as well. So he is going to be upgraded in the damage department as well. And I'm pretty sure, based on the Triforce location in 3, that we can assume Shatty probably has it. Unless it's blocked by something stupid like a ladder here that we're about to find out. It was ladder blocked, so he doesn't have the Triforce in 3 right now. Wow.
Meanwhile, Shatty now into that thick and beefy west side of level 6, and the Triforce could be in any of these rooms. Man, that any key really coming in handy, though, as he's able to just skip these rooms and just go.
Always fun. That's a beautiful clip there. I always find it more difficult to try and clip in these rooms when you're blinking from getting the clock.
Oh yeah, this race is far from over despite the lead. Crim is only really missing the ladder is the only item he probably needs. Obviously the anti-key would be nice, but once he gets that ladder, he's going to be flying too. Now that he's got his bow and silver arrows, he's going to have that upgraded offense. And yeah, he's going to be able to close pretty quick. So if Shatty gets into 9 and has any sort of issues, Crim could sneak into 9 and have a chance to steal.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest advantage that Shatty has right now is not even just the ladder, it's the any key. So, as obviously seeing keys have been sort of the biggest deterrent in this seed. Shatty picking up that any key is probably the biggest advantage he has.
This is what I was afraid of. Digging this 6 and finally just falls on the Triforce. Big break for Shatty. This was a super thick and mean level 6, and he gets out of there pretty quick, all things considered.
I mean, yeah, although gotta love the seed having another Triforce in the most lower left possible spot in the dungeon. Crim taking an unfortunate death up on Death Mountain. That's one of the worst places to take a death unless your starting screen is up there, because it's a long walk no matter where you're at.
Yeah, and I believe he's looking for 7. I don't think he's found 7 yet, and he's not far from it. I actually believe it's on the next screen over, so hopefully he visits that screen.
Yeah, and Shatty is back in level 3 to go pick up that ladder blocked Triforce that we saw. Because again, this seed has got jokes for days.
Yeah, just over the hour and 15-minute mark, the closing speed that Shatty's shown here has been very impressive. Because remember, he's gotten like 3 Triforces in the last 10 minutes. He's really been flying.
Crim on the other side has found his way into level 7 of Soda. But we've made our way through the wilderness. We've got the Triforce in 3, and that means Shatty is going to be on his way to level 9, where, let's be honest, with as trolly as this seed has been, we're going to walk in, Ganon's going to be 2 rooms to the north, and Zelda's going to be 1 room to his right.
They got to give him something, man. This has just been one of the craziest combat seeds of the first round of this tournament so far. And at the hour and 15 and some change mark, Shatty is on his way to level 9. I'll try to keep you up to date once Crim enters 9 on the difference between the 2 runners, as level 9 is not far from here, so he's going to be listening for that pig and looking for that shutter door.
And here we go. That's a 9. That is a weird-looking, multi-space missing 9.
I mean, kind of a side effect of it being this crazy shaped is that there's less rooms to explore. But yeah, this is a really potentially trolly 9, depending on how this is laid out. And already finding not many bomb holes to deal with yet. It's probably going to be a lot of staircases. This is what Crim needs to get back in this.
I mean, yeah, level 9, I mean, it's been going back through, I don't know how many tournaments, but level 9, hey, speaking of that, our first patcher, but has given the nickname the Great Equalizer, because I've seen 20-minute leads evaporate in level 9s.
Our first magical staircase, and Shatty electing not to fight the Patra, and for his trouble, finds the left side of the map.
Well, we found where all the keys ended up. They ended up in 9.
Well, if Crim doesn't end up with the magical key, that could be helpful.
Yeah, I mean, I say that the magical key is the biggest advantage that Shatty has, but I've seen some scenarios where, because a magic key is had, you take a long, circuitous, winding route and you don't find where you need to go, whereas because, hey, I don't have the magic key, I gotta work my way around it, you find an easier path.
So for those that are relatively new to the randomizer and have not heard this spiel before, in level 9 we know we'll be 1 room away from Ganon if and when we hear Ganon's roar but don't see him. Now Ganon's roar can be masked by the roars of other enemies, which is why I bring it up in this room that Shatty's in. The Patra's roar can overwrite Ganon's roar, so if Ganon is adjacent to that room he was just in, he may not know it yet. But this shutter door could be Zelda. It is not.
That would have been trolly, because that would have guaranteed a magical staircase to Zelda.
Yeah, or maybe the south room.
Yeah, but we would have had the staircase to get there, because there's no way of going left in that, with that vertical chute. If that didn't open, so yeah, that would have been fun. I'm actually disappointed now.
Shatty does find a way up into that room.
Yeah, Shatty is going through here, and like JSR said, he's just trying to listen for Ganon. He's just trying to get as many rooms as he can to try and listen to where Ganon might be. Because once you've defeated Ganon, it's a lot easier to just go into rooms and search for Zelda than it is to, oh hey, there's 7 darkness in this room with a shutter door. Do I kill it?
As we approach the 1 hour and 20-minute mark of this siege, Shatty does find his second staircase. It takes him back 1 room away from where he was at earlier, but there was no bomb hole into this section, so it could be in another segment here. And there's a single shutter door. Still no clues on Zelda's location yet. Could this be her?
It could very well be, or it could just be a push block to open it. Crim has found himself a staircase in 7, the transport staircase, as opposed to the recorder. So he's going to find himself in the lower half of 7, in a room with a bunch of Stalfos. Well, hey, no. We found Zelda.
Confirmation, double staircase, and unless there's another way into that room, possibly from above, that's going to be a fun backtrack, and we've seen it already in round 1 with a few races where runners forgot the path to Zelda. Always track your 9s. You never know when you're going to be in that situation where you're in like a 5 staircase 9 just to get to Ganon, and then you're in that race mode, and it's easy to panic or forget. Shatty's a pretty thorough runner, though, and he finds another staircase.
And opts to pick up the wand here. Interesting.
Possibly for Patras?
Potentially, or just to help with a ranged weapon. Like, I can understand picking it up, but it's one of those situations where if I'm in a race here and I'm in 9 at this point, it's like, I'm not picking up the wand. I understand wanting it. I don't think I'm wasting the time.
Not on that push block. Still no sign of Ganon.
Now he's probably up in the upper right-hand corner there.
So probably 2 staircases to get up in that area? Hopefully. I mean, what?
I mean, hopefully. I'm thinking 3. Yeah, I'm panicking because there's landmos in the room trying to block clip, and you can't quite get it because there's landmos in the room scaring you.
I don't care how many of these seeds you've played or how experienced you are, that's always scary. Especially when you're at low health in Green Tunic.
Yeah, very much so. See, this is interesting for me. If I'm Shatty here, I know you're just looking for Ganon. I still bomb down into that room to the south just to make sure it's not a staircase that's going to take me somewhere else.
Yeah, I've seen it before, and now we've already seen 3 of the staircases here in this level 9, so there are 3 remaining, I believe, and I haven't seen a lot of bomb holes yet either, so it's going to be interesting to see. I have not heard Ganon yet either.
No, neither have I, and looks like we're not going to have, oh, you want bomb holes, this is going to be the room that's going to have them. We can make our way over here. Looks like we found a second path into Zelda? Yep.
Could be one of those seeds. Yeah, the girl's easy to find, but she's a vegetarian.
You know, that's the first time I've ever heard it called that, and I love every minute of that.
Potential push block seed. Oh, I didn't see what happened, but Crim took a death, and from chat's reaction, I'm guessing he was pretty deep in 7.
Yeah, manhandle, I got him. And we do have a clock here, so Crim gets to go ahead and freely stab at all of the Scalfos here.
Here we go. We're up in that northeast area of the map now. Let's see if we can find the pig.
I mean, statistically speaking, yes. Although, I don't know why I'm doing math on stream.
Yeah, and I like the path he's taking here. You really want to split the areas you haven't explored when you're looking for Ganon. You want to try to have rooms on all your sides because that'll widen your search area as much as you can.
Yeah, 100%.
Shatty seems pretty determined to get to that northern area. Did he hear a roar?
Maybe not, but if you don't get into this one room here to the right, you're not going to be able to check the one room off under the 9. So I agree with checking it here. And there's a manhandler masking it.
Although that is a potential transport, and here's a definite transport. Well, that could be the item too.
Yeah, but amazing.
Well, that confirms that red ring is the other item in 8, and neither runner found it. They were digging too. So, man, tough break for both of them. Although Crim does have to go back to 8, I just don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you at this point. I don't think it is. Hey, we've got more spots to search here in level 9.
And
yes.
What is this 9? He's got to be in those right rooms all by themselves, huh?
Yeah, there's only a couple rooms he hasn't been by to check, so yeah, we're pretty much here.
Yeah, we were the ones saying it was going to be a 3-room 9, right?
I mean, I was saying that because of the way the rest of the seeds treated him, but no, 9 decided I'm going to just go with what the seed was doing too.
This is such a bad 9.
This is so good, I love it.
And that's Shatty's last bomb, so that could come into play here.
Oh, it is!
And he hears
blocked!
He doesn't have any bombs! Wow!
Oh, the seed with just one last elbow up the top.
What a bad break for Shatty. And again, we know he's got a huge lead. There's no way he's not in full-on pressure-feeling mode right now. At least I would be.
Oh yeah, if I see that, I'm like, no! Oh, the Lionel being the savior!
You can call it good luck, you can call it tracking your globals, you can call it whatever you want, but Shatty knew that enemy could drop a bomb and he got it.
Yeah, that's fantastic right there.
Good room to fight Ganon here, and with the white sword, it should be a reasonable fight here, plus he's got his Pepsi.
Yeah, reasonable fight. Ganon not being so reasonable here. But does get a very, very nice stun lock there on Ganon.
And a reasonably short route to the girl. We could be putting GG's in chat very soon at the 1 hour 28 minute mark. We have Bacon, and he knows exactly where to go. This is going to be over very quickly.
Yeah, we know where to go. The question is, do we know how to get there fast, or we have to take the long way?
Health is a minor concern, down to 1 heart. A lot of enemies in here will kill him. He's only got a few rooms left to go.
But we do have this potion, too, so, I mean... Looks like he's opting to take the stairway to Zelda.
Yeah, good call. You definitely don't want to die. A room full of Pulse Voice. You've got it already equipped. I don't hate that call at all.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you take it, you're good to go. You know where you have to go. You got to kill some keys to get up to where your staircase is, and then you're 1 room away from Zelda. Yeah, nothing wrong with it at all. Crim over on the left-hand side has found his breadstick deep in level 7, although by this point it's probably a little stale and needs some garlic sauce.
Yeah, as Shatty takes this staircase, he's going to be just a room or 2 away from Zelda at this point, and I believe that that's going to be enough, as you can get your GGs out in chat for your winner in Swiss Week 1. Shatty with an official time of... I already know the time, but I'm going to wait for him to finish.
I do too. That would be 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 40 seconds. And immediately after the dot done, Crim would be, thank you for finishing, Shatty, and hitting the forfeit button.
Oh, I'm not going to make fun of Crim. I'm not going to make fun of Crim.
I mean, I will, but he knows that.
Congrats to Shatty moving on to 1-0 in week 1 of Swiss, and Crim falling to 0-1, however, far from done in this tournament. We have plenty of Swiss action to come in the weeks ahead.
Yeah, and we also have a Shatty here in chat with us. So about that combat.
Yeah, a little rough. Keys, a little rough. How about
Yep.
that bomb drop there at the end?
Just so clutch. See, we were hoping you were going to come in.
seat.
See, we were hoping you were going to come in and admit that, I was counting my globals. I knew it was coming the whole time.
No, that was a great show of combat and skill. I mean, especially with how trolly the seed was with keys, with ladder blocks, with combat. You did fantastic at adjusting and surviving in a lot of difficult situations.
And sometimes it's just best to know what not to do. Unfortunately, you end up having to do everything anyway. So.
Yeah, you were sitting at 4 Triforces at about 1 hour and 5 minutes into the seed, and you finished with a very impressive sub 130. What was going through your mind as the hour mark passed you by and you were sitting in that position? Were you feeling the heat at all, or were you feeling like you knew Crim was probably going to be in the same boat as you? What were your thoughts at that point? Did we lose Shatty?
Maybe?
I mean, that was my thoughts too. I was like, I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go take this seat out back. I'm going to put it in a trash can. I'm going to pour gasoline over it, and we're going to light a fire. We can throw my seat on top of it. Nothing's going to happen here.
Well, as we wait for Shatty to join us back in the commentator's booth, to finish my thoughts, I thought he did very well. And again, Crim, I don't know if you're listening, but with everything that you had going on at the beginning of the seed, to see you fight back and to stay in this race until pretty late into it was quite impressive as well.
I love chats like, wait, how bad was this seed? Yes.
Yes. No, very key starved. Lots of Wizrobes, Dark Nuts, and Lionels in the dungeons. Ladder blocks galore. Gleeox around every turn. And it was pretty much Shatty finding the white sword in 4 and the any key in 6 that really broke the seed open for him. Because up until that point, I mean, we were looking at one Triforce per at about 40 minutes into this.
I was so happy to see that key.
So I don't know if you heard my question,
like,
Shatty.
what else I could do?
I don't know if you heard my question. I wanted to get your thoughts on your feelings as like the seed wore on and you were continuing to find these ladder blocks and these key blocks and the combat was rough. I mean, obviously you both are very skilled runners. Were you concerned at all? What were your feelings at about the hour and 5 mark of this race?
Yeah, I was I was thinking about how I was going to get more money to buy more keys. I was sitting on like 10 rupees. I didn't really know where to go at one point. I poked in 8 again. I saw the raft. I just started laughing. I was like, you got to be kidding me. But I
we have a
managed to get a
question.
couple keys in there at least.
Yeah, that any key, when that popped up, I think you only had 2 keys, and that was a wealth of keys in this seed. I don't think you ever had more than like 3 or 4. I mean, maybe at one point, but that level 4 was atrocious. How good did it feel after how hard you worked kinetic keys and bomb holes and combat and all those dives? How good did it feel to go back there later in the seed and just get that Triforce?
I can tell you how it felt when I got down to that room and saw the key door blocking the Triforce. But yeah, good.
We were very
you had
impressed with
one
how you were
hard.
fighting tooth and nail, and you got one room away, and at that point you probably knew there wasn't any keys left that you could get to. Yeah, that was impressive deduction and problem solving, and the seed was cruel.
It was rough.
Yeah.
That said, you do move on to 1-0. I mean, obviously, we don't know who your opponent is going to be in week 2. What are your feelings and thoughts going into week 2? You seem real sharp. Are you feeling pretty confident going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I play a bunch more than I probably should. So yeah, I like the way the tournament's set up. I'm just so happy that there's a tournament going on right now. It's very exciting.
Here. Yo,
So,
big shouts out to the team that put this tournament together. It's been a blast to watch, participate in, and also to commentate so far.
Absolutely, it's been a long time coming, but it's been worth the wait. It's been awesome so far, and we're only 3 days in or something.
Yeah, the seeds have been something else, as you got to experience tonight firsthand.
Yeah, I mean they did a really good job on picking the flags, because I mean we're gonna be dealing with these for a while now. And if what we've seen so far is any indication, should be a fun few weeks.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the remaining 5 weeks here of this tournament. And chat, I hope you guys are looking forward to the next 5 weeks of the Swiss as well, plus the bracket round. So we got plenty more Zelda 1 coming your way. Now, basically through the halfway point of spring.
Of course, these are all going to be aired all throughout the Speed Gaming network of channels. Make sure you follow all of the Speed Gaming channels to catch these races live. They're going to be going pretty much daily for the rest of March, which is like, it's Christmas in March, TGE. This is amazing, man.
Sweet, I'll get my little desk Christmas tree out then and put it here.
This has been a lot of fun, and we still have so much week 1 action to come. Definitely check out, I believe there's a Z1R 2022 command in chat if you want to see the schedule of upcoming matches. There's a lot of really good runners I have not seen race yet, and I've been paying close attention, so definitely make sure you check out all these races. And there's a lot of veterans and newcomers in this tournament too, so it's really going to be exciting once we get towards the end of Swiss and starting to see that bracket round kind of getting together. I'm stoked, and I'm really stoked to see so many of my friends, including you, Shatty and Crim, in this thing, and GG's to both of you tonight. You put on a heck of a show for us.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for commentating and letting the background tracking. It's always appreciated. It really makes the tournament a lot of fun getting all these restreams going.
Well, Shatty, I wish you the best of luck in week 2 and going forward. Again, it was a pleasure to call your race tonight. Congrats on the win. And GG's to Crim as well. It's a real shame of the technical difficulties we were dealing with, but he did a great job in putting on a show for you, and I hope he can get it all situated before his week 2 race. Folks, don't forget to follow both of these runners, because they're going to give you a lot of amazing rando action on both their channels, and they're both still in this tournament. So you're going to want to root them on in week 2 and beyond. And TGE, this was so much fun. This is the first time we've called a race together in years, man, and it is an absolute pleasure. I just wanted you to know that, my friend.
Well, thank you. It is an absolute pleasure to call a race with you and to have you back in the tournament doing comms. It's a pleasure to have everybody back. It's good to just be back with a tournament playing Zelda again.
This is exactly what we needed, y'all, and it's going to be great. So make sure you follow the Speed Gaming channels as well as our runners to see more of that. TGE, my friend, I feel like you deserve the honors if you'd like to take us on out of here.
All right, well, if you insist. First things first, we already said make sure you follow our runners here. If you have not done so already, I'm not going to promote myself, but I'm going to give a shout out to our tracker behind the scenes, that is Beletta. She is an awesome job. She does it great. Also, a shout out to my co-commentator here, JSR. If you have not given him a follow already, please do, because there is plenty more Angry Video Game Nerd games to be played over there. Please give him a follow. And I guess if you want to follow me, you can hit !C. You can get all of those there. But on behalf of the Speed Gaming crew, both of our runners, and the whole commentary commentary crew here. I am TGE, reminding everybody to, of course, as always, keep hailing.